If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the journey of personal growth, like you were stuck in a loop of unfulfilled potential and unrealized dreams, this story is for you. It's a story about how the small, seemingly insignificant choices we make every single day compound into the life we live. And it's a reminder that we have the power to shape our lives one choice at a time. Welcome back to Mindset Vault. Today's story is called The Garden of Habits. It was an ordinary garden, that is, until you saw the rows upon rows of perfectly aligned tomato plants laden with ripe fruit, the patch of herbs whose fragrance could make any dish sing, or the sunflowers that seemed to touch the sky. For Selena, it wasn't just a garden, it was a reflection of her very being. Each plant, each flower, each weed, a testament to a habit she had cultivated. Selena was a gardener, not by profession, but by passion. She had inherited this piece of land from her grandmother, a woman known for her beautiful garden, and even more beautiful character. Celine loved spending hours in her garden, her hands digging into the cool, damp earth, her eyes scanning for pests, her heart swelling with the promise of each new bud. When Celine first started tending to this garden, she did so with the carefree spirit of youth. She would plant whatever caught her fancy, water the plants when she remembered, and pull out weeds when she had the time. She saw the garden as a hobby, a way to pass time, not understanding that each choice she made here was laying the foundation for her future. One evening, as the sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Selena's mentor, a wise old gardener named Ethan, visited her. He was a man whose wrinkles told stories of years well spent, whose calloused hands spoke of a life dedicated to nature. Looking at Celine's garden, he said gently, "Celine, your garden is a reflection of you, and it's beautiful, just as you are. But remember, this garden is also your life. The seeds you plant here will grow into habits, and those habits will determine your future." His words hit Celine like a wave crashing on the shore, pulling her back to reality. All this time she had been treating her garden as a pastime, a hobby to fill her leisure time. She hadn't realized that it was a mirror reflecting her life, her choices, her habits. Ethan continued, "You have the power to shape your future, just like you shape these plants. You can choose what seeds to plant, how to care for them, and watch them grow into the life you desire. But remember, if you neglect these seeds, if you don't tend to them with care, they will tend themselves, and not always in your favor." His words echoed in Celine's mind long after he left that night. As the moon replaced the sun, she couldn't sleep. Her thoughts raced, her mind replaying Ethan's words over and over. The weight of his message sunk in. She realized that her life wasn't just about enjoying the present moment. It was about making choices, small choices, daily choices that would compound into the life she would live in the years to come. The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight touched her face, Celine got up with a newfound sense of purpose. She walked to her garden, her steps lighter, her eyes brighter. Looking at the garden, she no longer saw just plants and flowers. She saw habits, her habits. She saw her life. She started small. She chose a patch of land and decided to plant the seeds of discipline. She marked the area, dug the soil, and planted the seeds. Every day she watered them, weeded around them, and shielded them from harsh weather. She repeated this process with other patches, planting the seeds of patience, kindness, focus, and courage. At first, there was no visible change. Days turned into weeks, and still there were no sprouts. Disappointment threatened to engulf her. Was this all in vain? Would her efforts ever pay off? But then she remembered Ethan's words. "They will grow. You just need to be patient." So she waited. And one morning, as if by magic, the seeds sprouted. The garden that was once a reflection of her carelessness now became a canvas of her new habits. The seeds of discipline grew into strong, sturdy tomato plants. The seeds of patience blossomed into calming lavender bushes. The seeds of kindness bore sweet, juicy fruits that attracted hummingbirds. And the seeds of focus transformed into a beautiful herb garden that smelled divine. Months went by, and Celine's garden flourished. What was once a haphazard collection of plants became an organized, thriving ecosystem. Each plant had its place, each weed was pulled out, and each insect was either encouraged or deterred, depending on its role in the garden. But Celine didn't just tend to her garden, she also tended to herself. She read books on cultivating good habits, researched ways to improve her lifestyle, and reached out to others for help when needed. She took small, consistent actions every day, and over time, these actions compounded into significant changes in her life. Her friends and family noticed these changes. They saw her newfound discipline, her increased patience, her acts of kindness, and her laser-like focus. They asked her what had brought about this transformation, and she pointed them towards her garden. One day, as Celine was pruning her plants, a young girl approached her. She looked at the garden with wide, curious eyes. "It's amazing," she said. "How did you do it? How did you make such a messy garden into this beautiful one?" Celine smiled. She knew exactly what the girl was referring to, the state of her garden before she discovered the power of habits. "It's simple," she said. "All you need is a little patience and a lot of small steps." She pointed to the girl. "You can start too. If you want this patch to bloom with sunflowers, you can dig the soil, plant the seeds, water them when they're dry, and shield them from the frost. Then watch and be patient. The girl nodded, her eyes shining with determination. I want to start now. As Celine watched the girl run off to gather tools, she couldn't help but smile. She had taken a small step that day, a step that had rippled into every aspect of her life. Her garden was a testament to that, a vibrant, fragrant testament to the power of small, consistent actions. Every day, we make countless choices. Small choices that seem insignificant in the moment, yet compound into profound outcomes over time. These choices form our habits, which in turn shape our lives. Good habits propel us forward, helping us reach our goals and dreams. Bad habits, on the other hand, can hold us back, keeping us from reaching our full potential. For example, the habit of reading just 10 pages a day can lead to reading over 3,650 pages in a year, exposing you to new ideas and knowledge. On the other hand, the habit of scrolling through social media for an hour each day can waste valuable time that could be spent on more productive activities. Moreover, our habits influence our environment. Our choices impact not only our immediate surroundings, but also the broader world around us. By choosing to live a sustainable lifestyle, such as reducing, reusing, and recycling, we contribute to a healthier planet. Conversely, if we engage in wasteful practices, we degrade the environment for ourselves and future generations. Furthermore, our habits reflect our values and identity. They are a key aspect of who we are. When we choose to align our habits with our values, we reinforce our sense of self and purpose. However, if our habits conflict with our values, we experience internal conflict and a sense of disharmony. It's important to note that breaking bad habits and forming good ones is not an easy task. It requires self-awareness, discipline, and often support from others. We must understand the triggers that cause us to stray from our goals and develop strategies to overcome them. Seeking guidance from mentors, friends, or professionals can be invaluable in this journey. Cultivating good habits is essential for personal growth and achieving one's goals. By adopting positive habits, we open ourselves up to new opportunities, knowledge, and experiences. Meanwhile, breaking bad habits prevents us from falling back into old patterns and allows us to move forward in our lives. Remember, small changes, big impact. Your life is a collection of your habits, and your habits can change your life. Just like Salona, we have the power to shape our habits and subsequently our lives. So let us begin today. Plant the right seeds, water them with consistency, and watch our gardens, our lives blossom into beautiful, thriving realities. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Mindset Vault. If you enjoyed this story and found it valuable, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel to ensure you don't miss any of our new stories. And if you'd like to continue listening to more stories like these, you can head over to our website where we have a host of other stories waiting for you. From there, you can also download our app, available on both Android and iOS, where we have a treasure trove of content waiting to be explored. Once again, thank you for being a part of the Mindset Vault community. Until next time, keep nurturing your mind and keep growing.